Amy. I hope you're having a great stitching week. For those of you that have been here before, thanks so much for coming back to visit with me. For those of you who are new, thank you for joining us. This is a channel all about this crazy hobby we call cross stitch. So I want to show you what all I have been finishing lately. I spent a couple of days and just made a humongous mess in my living room and finished several projects. It's funny how much stuff it takes for me to be able to finish a project. I think because I don't always have a clear idea of what I want, so I try several things until I find what I like. So I wanted to show you some things that I've done. Okay, one of the first projects that I finished was Autumn Hill by Plum Street Samplers. This one was stitched on a 28 Golden Blossom Lugana fabric. It was bright. It was really, really bright. And I'd already started stitching when I decided that this fabric was just not my favorite for it, but I continued on. I used DMC and Victorian Motto flosses. After I stitched it, I dunked it in coffee. Actually, I didn't dunk it in coffee. I soaked it in coffee. Some of my colors blurred and ran a little bit, but and also it didn't really darken the fabric. This Lugana just did not want to take other colors, even though I left it in there a while. So it kind of made it look old, antique, kind of grungy, but not really coloring the fabric as much as I would like. So I made it into a cute little pillow. I wanted to try doing the thing where instead of leaving a hole on the side of the fabric to stuff it, I left one on the back. I was going to show you what that looked like. I just slit kind of a plus sign, and I stuffed it with polyfill, just a little fiberfill, and then I'm going to put something on the back, like a cute little patch. The backing fabric that I used was a 16 count lamb's wool Aida that was too stiff for me to stitch with. Wasn't my favorite, so I used it for backing because I really wanted to get this finished. And I was able to make it a little bit stiffer for the pillow by ironing on some iron-on interfacing onto both sides of it to make it a little bit stiffer. I really like the way it turned out. It's just simple, it's plain. I wanted to see if I liked the way of stuffing from the back instead of the edge, and I certainly do. So I still have a little bit of work to do on that, but there is my Autumn Hill by Plum Street Samplers. I think it turned out cute. Another pillow that I made, and this was actually the first one, my Route 66 by Little House Needleworks. I finished this one. And this is also a pillow stuffed with the fiberfill. This is stitched on a 28 count Irish linen that I just bought at Michael's, one of my favorites to stitch with. The colors in here, the bright pinks and purples and turquoise, I put a fun fabric on the back. And this was some fabric that I had left over from a project bag that I made. So I thought it was kind of fun together. I did leave an opening right here, which you can see when I ended up stitching it, it didn't lay quite as flat. But for my first big pillows, I figured this was a really good attempt. I do like stuffing through the back like on the other one, but I thought this one turned out really cute. So Route 66. My plan is to put this in our camper for decoration on the couch. See if I can get those to stay. Okay, another thing for the camper. This is Tiny Modernist, Every Day is an Adventure. And this one is stitched on, I believe 18 count Aida that I dyed with Aqua and gray. It was left over from a piece that I did for my daughter, a camera piece that I did for her. And I think the stitching turned out really cute on it. I had a frame that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I simply just used a board, some matte board, and glued the edges around the mat board, and I put some batting in between to make it a little bit fluffy, and then I put some teeny tiny ribbon around the edges. So this piece, my fabric, the batting, the fabric, the ribbon, everything is just on top of the print that was already there. And I think it turned out really cute. It's just a little white wooden frame. So every day is an adventure. That one will go in the camper as well. This is ABCD by Aida. This was stitched on some really pretty fabric. It's a 28 count Monaco, but I tea and coffee stained it, and I love the way it turned out. I wanted something kind of fun to go behind the simplicity of the black thread, and I just used DMC on this, the 310, and it was a fun stitch. It was relaxing, it was easy. I loved that it was monochromatic. So I stitched this. I found a little board and wrapped it around. This actually was a piece from Hobby Lobby as well. This was a sign. I think it said "Cultivate a Good Life." And I just permanently attached this piece to the sign. I like that there was a black background to the sign, so I have a black border now. And I think that turned out really nice. So that was ABCD by Aida on a recycled frame from Hobby Lobby that I got this summer. Okay, going along with the same theme of using a board, I grabbed a board out of a scrap wood pile that my husband had. I painted it black, and I used it as the base of my jardin privet undulations. This stitch, I love the way it turned out. The black and white and the little pops of color, and you can see that part of the little smokes from the chimney kind of come off the top, but I think that's fun. This was harder than I thought it would be to stitch. These little graphics down here were almost like kind of just what am I trying to think of? They were like optical illusions. So I would be stitching along thinking I was right, but then I wasn't, because if it looked right, it was off. And if it looked off, it ended up being right. So those were kind of fun to stitch. It was a fun stitch. I did all my black first, and then I went back and added the color. There was quite a bit of back stitching on this that really brought it to life. I don't mind back stitching. I used to back stitch all the time back in the day. So I think it really added a lot to the piece. But it's undulations, and I just got a piece of fabric to cover the back. And this can just sit on a shelf. So I like this little finish. Permanent. I did not put any batting on it. I simply stitched this on the 28 count white Monaco, brought it around, hot glued it to the back, and then covered it with the fabric. So it is permanently there. All right, another one. This was another Hobby Lobby piece. I can't remember what it had underneath it, but it is like a wooden pallet with a white wood frame. My piece was a little bit larger. I just wanted it to be like a 3-level look on this one. So this is a Aida free pattern that was on their blog. It says, "A fallen leaf is summer's wave goodbye." I used the call for DMC. Very simple, very sweet. Just use a little bit of coffee tea dyed 28 count Monaco. I was using some scraps up, and I permanently attached it. Use some sticky board, some batting, glued it around. There it is. So, fallen leaf. I was so excited to get some of these finished. I'll sit them in a drawer somewhere. Okay. This piece is Grace on Thee by Plum Street Samplers. I stitched this one on a 36 count. Let me look and tell you for sure. This was Heritage by Victorian Motto, the linen. I subbed some Victorian Motto colors on this one. The details are in the description box. And I subbed some colors. I liked the blue down here. I liked the blue on the roof. So I changed a few colors, but I love this one. It turned out so pretty. The stitches are so pretty. I did use 2/2 on this. And I found this frame at a thrift shop, and it was brown, and it had an old cross-stitch piece in it. I didn't bring it. I saved it. I haven't gotten rid of it. It was one that someone had done and put their initials, and it was about the 4 food groups, and it was 4 different kinds of chocolate. So it was a cute little stitch, definitely from the 80s, and I felt kind of bad about taking it apart to recycle the frame. But I did it. The exciting part is when I took apart the frame, I wanted to go ahead and stitch it and, go ahead and paint it red. So I did kind of a rustic red with some black tones underneath. And this glass is like the museum quality glass. It's not even just non-glare, it's museum quality. So I lucked out on that. I didn't even think when I bought the frame that this glass was going to be so amazing. It looks like there's no glass on it. There's no glare. So it makes me want to buy non-glare or museum quality glass. Like I said, it's even better than just a plain non-glare. So I think it is a museum quality. It makes such a big difference. It doesn't matter where I put it. It's not going to glare. It's not going to have a reflection on it. So I lucked out. I think I paid $1 for this piece at the thrift store. So when I put my cross stitch in there, it just looks like it doesn't have glass, but it's protected. So Grace on Thee by Plum Street Samplers. Very, very pleased with how that turned out. Okay. Oh, fall off my stool. This one is Blackbird Designs, and it's Blackbird. This was from the Magical Mystery series, one of the Beatles ones. It was stitched with black coffee on a 40 count. This is 40 count. Oh, this is my first and only 40 count. This was the Mallow 40 count linen. And everything black coffee, 1/2. I don't have any glass in this one, so there's no glare. And this frame was just a simple wooden frame that I bought at a thrift store again, and I mixed some brown, some gray, and some deep red paint, and somehow managed to get the exact color of this black coffee floss. So I was super pumped about that. And it happened pretty fast. I lucked out and got it wrapped pretty quickly. So that's fun. This is just on a sticky board with batting underneath it. And I could change things in and out of this frame if I wanted to. But I think it turned out really well. So that's Blackbird by Blackbird Designs. Okay, my last piece that I fully finished since I've talked to you guys was Into All a Good Night by Lizzie Kate. This was stitched on a 28 count pecan butter. I believe that was Lakeside Linens, but I love the fabric. It's so pretty. This one is near and dear to my heart. This is one that I stitched on last December when my husband took me on a trip to Maui for my birthday, and I just remember sitting on the beach watching the waves, stitching this piece, and I like the way it turned out. I don't have a whole lot of Christmas Santa type stitching, so this is one that will definitely kind of stand out with my Christmas decor. The colors, I believe, I did sub some Victorian Motto on this, and the rest were the call for DMC. I put this on a sticky board with batting beneath it to make it fluffy and stand out. I glued the cording on after I finished everything else. This is a little decoration I got at Target last year from their dollar spot. So I think it was $5, and I bought it after Christmas, so it was half price. I don't know if they're going to have these again this year, but they're definitely adorable. I think this one turned out so cute. So it's Into All a Good Night from Lizzie Kate. It's a fun stitch and a fun finish, and that linen is gorgeous. I need to stitch some more on that. So what I've been working on lately. I did the 24 hours of cross stitch. Had some family things, some family fun going on over the weekend, so didn't get all my 24 hours in, but I did manage to get about 18 hours over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was a good excuse to stitch. I only worked on 2 projects, which is different for me because usually I have, kind of almost like 1 an hour. But this is one from Joyful Expressions that I had started last time I talked to you, and then I restarted it on different fabric. This is a 36 count shadows, 36 count shadows from Victorian Motto. It has like a purple undertone. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of a grayish purple. I'm using Victorian Motto flosses. I have 3 different flosses of, 3 different colors of purple variegated flosses. This is called His Name is Jesus, and it's all the different names of Jesus. I do have a hoop mark in the center because for a change I am using some hoops. And when I'm using Shiloh X Stitch MD, recommended some of these little plastic hoops. So back when I used to use the wooden hoops, I've been using Q-snaps lately, and now I tried these. The Q-snaps were getting so big and heavy in my hands. I do have a Lowry stand. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I do have a hack on how to make the extension bar longer that I'll share with you soon, but it just wasn't quite as comfortable as I wanted it to be. I have ordered a Kay's Creations lap stand from Etsy, and I hope that's here by the end of the month. So it'll be fun to try that. So I think that'll work well with my Q-snaps. But for now, there's some different shapes of these, and they are so lightweight. When I first started using it a couple of weeks ago, it was like there was nothing in my hands. It just felt so easy to hold. So I am back to using these hoops. This is an oval one. There's some circles. They do have these at Joann's now, not quite exact, but very similar. So they're just plastic. They're rubber. There's nothing to tighten, but they are very tight. There's a little groove here to hold the fabric in. They do come with the little hangers, the little metal hangers. I have just untwisted them, so if I ever wanted to use them to display, I could always twist the little metal hanger pieces on again, but they just got in the way when I was stitching, so I took them off. So I've really been enjoying that. What I did on this piece, and you guys gave me some good help on this, I went back to, even though it was 36 count, I really like the 2 strands of thread instead of 1. So this one is 1 strand of thread, and I need to go back. I'm just going to go over it with 1 more strand. I'm not going to pick it out and do with 2. So 1 more strand over that. This one right here, I had the first word stitched with 1 strand, and then I went back with another strand, and it looked fine. So this is how the 2 strands look, and it just stands out so much nicer. So that was one piece that I worked on during the 24 hours. Another piece was my flower sampler. My flower sampler is from 2x2 Stitch Art on Etsy. It is a huge pattern. It's like 26 pages. And the stitch count, I don't remember exactly what it was, but oh, it's going to be big. So I have this on a 28 count white piece of linen. And so here's an idea of size. And it's all different colors of pinks. I have 3 different colors of pinks that I'm using. And then I'm using a DMC gray 317. So this is the top. I finished all the way from left to right. And that's it. There was a lot of stitching in that. So it's funny when you think about it, I spent 18 hours on those 2 pieces. I think I was about right here. So I got this much done during the 24 hours. Oh, and this right here. Oh well. I think that piece is going to be very pretty. Since it's my only carry forward from Mania, I would love to get that finished before next Mania. But I do have all my other Mania pieces finished. That's really fun. So I'll get to start new ones. I'm thinking about maybe February stitching, having my Mania in February because it's always cold and not a lot going on that month. So thinking about doing that. Okay, recently what I've been stitching on, I started a couple more little things. I had gone to my local library and they had some old cross-stitch books from the 80s, early 90s, and it was like in their used book section or the little book sale section. So I got those, and there wasn't a whole lot that I wanted to stitch in those, but I did find a couple of little patterns, and one is, I can't show you that I have a picture of it, but it was a little window with Santa looking either into the window or out of the window, whichever way you want to look at it. And it's just going to be a cute little tiny stitch. This is a 36 count leftover heritage linen from Victorian Motto, leftover from my Grace on Me stitch. So I just had some extra, so I'm going to do that. There's another couple of little Santa pieces that I'm going to do, but it's just fun, and I'm just using, kind of pulling some Christmas colors from an old kit that I never did, and they have a bunch of just bright, pretty Christmas colors. Another one, and this one has been missing in action. I could not find my goody Grimwood. I knew I put it in a safe place. Sure enough, I had it kitted up and ready to go. So I was waiting on, I need to find some of the grays and blacks, the specialty flosses, because I think that adds a lot to this piece. But I subbed Victorian Motto for a lot of them, and I started stitching on this last night. This is on a piece of Tea and Coffee Stain Monaco. Haven't gotten a lot done. You can see the door to the house, and then here's my outline of green and white pumpkin. So it's not a lot to see yet. The green is showing up better in person than it is on my monitor. But yeah, that's that piece. So my fabric is really dark. And you can't see the green at all right there. I promise you can see it. And I've just got one little row of the green. So I'll keep going with that and see how that looks. But that Goody Grimwood has a bunch of different colors. I'm using Victorian Motto and DMC. And then, like I said, I need to order some of the specialty flosses for the houses because I think that adds a lot to it. I did order a pack of sulky threads, and it's the Westport collection, I believe. I got them off Amazon just to try, and one of them is like a black and gray variegated, so I might try that for one of the houses to see how I like it. So haven't stitched with sulky before, so that's something new. Another new thing while I'm thinking about it, I got this nifty thing from my Michaels. I just wanted to be organized. And they had these. I think they're for like photos, kind of like scrapbooking section. But they have little bitty cases that seal very nice. And what I did is I just turned them upside down when I stored them, and I used my label maker to label what they were. So I thought that was kind of a fun thing that I got. I got some more Victoria Clayton, her variegated flosses that came out. I think she's doing those on the 15th of the month, and then the solids on the 1st of the month. So the last 2 months I've gotten my variegated flosses. Victorian Motto, I got my October shipment yesterday, and so a little bit delayed. They actually duplicated my linen. It was the same linen color that I had last time, which was kind of a pink color. So I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was a glitch, but I'm ready for my November shipment now. See what else there. For what else, my plans that I want to do, I want to go back to some Christmas type stitching because I'm getting in the mood. I pulled all my Christmas stuff down from the attic. It's sitting in my crates in the garage, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait till Thanksgiving to start that. But I want to work on my Little House Needleworks Hometown Holidays. And I did one last year, and I used the specialty called for flosses. This was a tree farm, and I think this is a 28 count mushroom Lugana. So I need to continue stitching. I think these would be really cute. I don't know if I do flat folds or ornaments or what, but I like those. I have the coffee shop, the mercantile, Pop's filling station, the Main Street station, the bookstore, then there's back to the tree lot. So I'm ready to do that. I've got flosses pulled. I have some other fabric that's close to the Lugana. It's not quite the same, and I'm debating on whether I want them. I probably want them uniform. I'll probably order some more of the mushroom Lugana. Whoops, to get those done. So that is on my radar of what I want to stitch. It's in my basket, ready to go. Sweetheart Hill is one that I love, and I don't know why I haven't started it. I did pull my red floss that I wanted for this big house, and I've chosen Glory Rose from Victorian Motto. And then all the other colors, pretty much Victorian Motto. And then I'm going to stitch this on the called for beeswax linen. So I think that'll be pretty. Since it is a called for linen, maybe I should stitch the called for flosses. I don't know. I haven't done that since back in the day when I used all the called for DMCs several years ago. What else? My pandemic. Haven't done a lot with it. This is stitched on Vicki Clayton linen, mystery linen, 36 count with Silks4U, number 124, I believe. So there's that. Fabric is very soft. I can't imagine how soft it's going to be after stitching with it for hours and hours and hours. So those are some things I have planned. Trying to think of what else I need to share with you. I know it's been a while. I just wanted to jump on and say hi and to let you know that I enjoy watching all of you that are doing Flosstube as well. And I also love hearing from you. I love the comments. I'm on Instagram, always Amy on Instagram, and you can always check out things there. And I love spending time with you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you're working on. I can't wait to talk to you again. See you later. Bye, guys.